So great weekend for fighting sports. If you love fighting sports, combat sports,
love it.
We love combat
Love
sports. Boxing, MMA. We don't miss very many fights. One of our favorite things probably is to watch, fights. And we got one of the best weekends probably that you could look at in combat history maybe. I mean, I'm not sure.
This weekend,
is a great weekend.
This weekend right here, honestly, it's one of the best fight weekends that we've seen in our lifetime, to be honest. I mean, UFC and boxing throwing huge events on the same exact night, and the names on this card are unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just amazing. Who's fighting, bro?
So this weekend we're going to have, in the boxing arena, we're going to have Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez.
My gosh.
So a lot of people would argue that Canelo could have potentially beat Mayweather had they met, a little bit later in Canelo's career.
If you ask Canelo, he says he would beat him now. Yeah.
Darren Williams is fighting too soon.
He's fighting this. Is he fighting on the same?
No.
Oh, he's fighting on the undercard? Oh my goodness.
And then
who's he fighting? Wait, Jay, who's he fighting?
Yeah, who's he fighting, Jay?
Figure that out for us, Jay, and let us know.
But you got Canelo Alvarez, who some people say Mayweather would get beat by Canelo later on in his career. Mayweather's the GOAT, okay?
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. I didn't always love him. It's kind of like that Tom Brady thing. Didn't always love Tom Brady until I could no longer say that he wasn't the GOAT.
Yeah.
And now I love Tom Brady, okay? So Mayweather's very similar to that same kind of guy. Some people hate him.
Darren Williams is fighting Frank Gore?
Yeah, that's basketball versus NBA versus NFL.
That's going to be epic.
So we get like these entertainment fights now.
Wait, is that in the Jake Paul card or is that in the Canelo card?
That might be Jake Paul.
I think that's a Jake Paul card.
I think that's on the Jake Paul Tommy Fury card.
Yeah, that is.
But it's still that. I mean, that's still going to be a great fight. I don't think it's this weekend.
That's not this weekend.
Like I said, Canelo could possibly be one of the greats. Caleb Plant's undefeated, trying to prove himself.
Yeah.
He's an American, which I love. Right?
Yeah,
I'm always rooting for the American.
So who you taking in the Plant and Canelo fight? What's your predictions here?
So what I'm thinking, I don't love my prediction because, again, Caleb Plant's an American, and I wish I could predict that he's going to win. So I'm going to say that I want Caleb Plant to win, but I'm going to predict that he gets knocked out in 8 rounds or less.
8 rounds or less. Honestly, I was actually kind of going with the same thing. Like, I love boxing. I love America. So usually I go for the American. Just like Deontay, I was rooting for Deontay Wilder against Fury.
He's not good enough to beat Fury, though.
I was just rooting for him. But Canelo holds a special place in my heart, to be honest, because he is just so
he's
good.
A beast.
I love watching Canelo fight. So I would love to see Caleb Plant come up with the upset and bring one home for America. I don't know that that's going to happen. I have Canelo Alvarez beating him in 8. He's probably going to knock him out. He is going to be.
We got the same prediction.
He's going to be dancing around him. He's going to be dodging his punches. He's going to be hitting him with those hard body shots. I mean,
did you see the lineup when Caleb Plant tried to slap him or punch him or something, and Canelo
he dodged
it and slapped him twice or something?
Yeah, for sure, hilarious. Yeah, I did see that. He dodged the hell out, did he? He's so fast, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I mean, after seeing that, Caleb, that was the wrong play, my boy. You missed him he wasn't even ready to. He was just chilling, and you still missed him, and then he clapped you twice with little slaps.
Yeah, he
didn't even have to punch you because he's so classy. He's like, I'll just slap this dude twice and laugh.
Right. Yeah, he's. It's gonna be tough to beat Canelo. Like I said, we're kind of rocking for Plant because he's an American, but it's gonna be very difficult to beat Canelo. So I can't.
Well, you saw my prediction. My prediction's Canelo.
Mine too, absolutely. So the next fight, Thug Rose versus Weili. Now you already know who we're picking on this.
Yeah, America all the way.
Now this is a UFC card. This is
fuck communism.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck China. This is America versus China, baby. Thug Rose is about to show her exactly what she showed her last time. She's about to knock her out. Now, I do think Weili is going to be fighting with a little bit of a chip on her shoulder because they always do in the second fight. So I don't think it's going to end as quick. But I have Thug Rose giving her the hands in round 4. She's knocking her out in round 4. She's laying Weili to sleep.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. You know, America versus China. Thug Rose Namajunas. I think that's how you say it. Namajunas. And then you got Weili Zhang. And then you also got Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington later. Or actually, that's, I think, maybe one of the first fights. Or
No, that's the main card.
Is that
That's
the
the
main
last
card?
fight.
Oh, that's
the
the main
first
card
fight
there.
is the Michael Chandler versus.
So you got Michael Chandler
Who?
and
Michael Gaethje. That's
yeah,
right.
Michael Chandler Gaethje
What
in the
a
first
card!
round.
My goodness.
First fight. Then you got Thug Rose and Weili, and then you got Usman and Covington all on the same card. I mean,
Yeah.
Dana White always says this is the best card we ever created. Every
This
UFC,
is a good card.
It's like a running joke we have here,
Yeah.
especially me and the producer Jay. But this might be the best card they ever created.
Yeah, this one might be it. Who do you? So actually, now that we bring that up, who do you have for the Gaethje Chandler fight? I already know who you're gonna say.
All right, so I'm gonna say Thug Rose, Weili. Thug Rose knocks her out within 3 rounds just by giving her them hands.
Okay,
I got her in 3 rounds. And you saw Weili was looking real American when she was in that press
she shaved
conference.
her. She gave her a little buzz
And
cut or
she
something.
also is training in America, so that shows
Smart woman.
where she wants to be, at least to my eyes.
I wouldn't go back
So
to
I'm
China.
going Thug Rose 3 rounds, and then I think Kamaru beats Colby Covington into a pulp, just like he did the first time. Okay,
Mhm.
and then I think Colby runs out of the octagon, doesn't shake his hand. As much as I'd
Oof.
like to root for Colby, I just don't think he's good enough.
I'm going
to beat
against you on that one.
Kamaru Snoozman.
I'm going against you on that one.
Snoozman's the most boring champ that we've seen. It's like watching the Duncan Spurs play
and
basketball.
you still didn't answer the question about the Gaethje.
I was getting there.
Yeah,
I was getting there.
slowly.
So Gaethje Chandler, I'm going Gaethje. UFC man.
you were going
Forget
Gaethje.
Bellator. I like the way Gaethje fights.
Yeah.
He lost to Khabib, I think, only really. Maybe he lost to someone else in there. Maybe Poirier. I think, yeah, he lost to Poirier.
Which Poirier's been
Poirier's
showing out
really
lately.
nice. So, you know, Gaethje is the real deal. Chandler seems to be somewhat untested. And I just like Gaethje, so I'm going to go Gaethje with a knockout in 3.
Yeah. That's probably not a title fight, so that probably is a 3-round fight there.
I think it's probably like
it might be a 5 though. Yeah, it might be a 5 because they're like higher
yeah,
ranking.
like a fighting next for the title kind of
Yeah.
fight.
So it might be 5. I kind of tend to agree with you. Didn't Michael Chandler lose his last fight? I feel like
think
he did. Didn't he?
He lost to the champ, I think, Oliveira. Is that right?
Oh, well,
Who did he lose to, Jack?
Oliveira. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's a good person to lose to, but I don't know.
But he got that
just-
fight. I think that was like one of his first fights in the UFC. That's
Right.
had to have been how they got him over to
Well,
the
that's-
UFC.
yeah, I mean,
in the contract will give you a title fight.
And
So-
he lost, so like you're saying, he's
Oliveira looked
battle
good.
tested in the UFC.
Yeah, Oliveira looked good.
So, and Gaethje, we love Gaethje. We've always loved Gaethje. He's a boxer. He stands up and fights you. Michael Chandler seems more like a wrestler. You know, I don't love the wrestling style. I'm a boxer. I want the boxer
I'll
to
just
win.
say, Khabib
I'm going
is the
Gaethje in
GOAT.
3. Oh, no, I'm going Gaethje in 2, actually. He's going to knock him out in 2.
I know you like the knockout style, but I'll just say this: Khabib is the GOAT, and the reason
He
he's
is-
the
No,
GOAT.
he's not the GOAT. John Jones is the
well,
GOAT.
John Jones, maybe,
not-
arguably. I'm just saying Khabib is
Yeah.
arguably the GOAT, and the reason is because he's a ground fighter, not because he's
Yeah.
a stand-up guy.
Well, I don't know. I think John Jones is the GOAT for sure.
John Jones has some losses, though.
He has 1 loss, and it's because he got disqualified.
DQ'd on some
And-
dumb
but he
shit.
was beating the
He
brakes
did
off
get
that
DQ'd
dude.
on some dumb shit. You
He
should
was-
know that, though. He elbowed him
He
in
was
the head while he
that
was
guy
down.
stood no chance. He was getting slaughtered.
Yeah. No, he was. I
So,
don't
I mean,
disagree with that.
Okay. So also Colby Covington. I'm disagreeing with you on the Usman Covington fight. I'm going with Covington, and I'm going to go with 3.
Simply because he's an American?
No, not because he's an American.
American made?
He is American
Tough
made.
like steel?
He voted for Trump, so there's that. But no, it's
Built for
because he's built for tough, and I just think he has a chip on his shoulder. You know, he has a chip on his shoulder. I always talk about that in the second fight. The people with the chip on the shoulder, they always come in. He was probably watching tape, seeing where his weaknesses are. I hope he was.
Usman was, too.
He
though.
was probably training very hard, and Usman might, he might underclass him a little
step
bit.
on his feet.
And Covington really dislikes him. So
I think that makes it worse for a fighter.
It does make it worse, but if he can fight and control that aggression and use it in his advantage, it could turn the tables. I think Covington's going to surprise everyone. Usman. I think it's going to go quick. I think either Usman's going to beat him quick, or I think Covington's going to knock him out. I don't think this fight's going the distance.
That one will be a longer fight.
They got animosity. They're going to try to break each other's jaw in the first 10 seconds.
Usman already broke his jaw.
Well, then if he breaks his jaw again, it definitely ain't going to 5.
We'll see.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to go. I think that one's going to be a shorter fight, but it's going to be a slaughterhouse.
It's hard for me to like Colby. As American as he is, I feel like he sleeps with an eagle.
He might sleep with an eagle. He might.
But nonetheless, like he's just a little bit over the top. He's almost, I don't know.
Too much for you? He's too much for you?
No, he's a little like,
wow.
He like attacks people's families. He like says, all he says, everything he says is just like, not like, it's just like.
The whole tribal thing was kind of weird. The whole tribal.
And it's not that entertaining because it's like white trash jokes. Like all he said, "Oh, my suit's worth more than your car." Like that's all he. That was an ugly suit. Like
that was an ugly suit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
I mean, it looked like it was graffiti spray painted.
You're paying that much for a suit, but do you invest? I don't know. He probably doesn't invest in anything. He's an idiot.
Right. The suit matched your book, which is good. But if you're buying a suit and you got that much money. That wasn't a Gucci suit or not. Gucci ain't making.
You said who made it, but I don't. But that's all I'm saying.
That was
like,
ugly.
The trash talking was kind of corny. Like McGregor, I love when McGregor trashed because he's funny, he's witty, he comes up with all this crazy shit that makes you laugh. Colby just says the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, well,
kind of makes himself look like an idiot, and then he goes right to a racial joke.
I just don't love Usman because he's boring to watch. No, he's un-American. He's not even American. So I mean, that's a thing. That he was stepping on toes in one of his title fights. I mean, come on.
I don't disagree with that. That was weak.
And then Covington called him out because he faked an eye poke, and in the replay, he faked it on the eye that was on the opposite side of where his hand was. So, like, if he would have had actual eye poke, it would have been the opposite eye, but he was faking it to get a timeout. So Covington said if he wouldn't have faked that, he would have knocked him out in the first fight. So I mean,
see that.
You're out here stepping on toes, faking eye pokes. You're out here. I don't know.
So where do you got Colby then? What do you got Colby in? What's
3? Colby knocking out 3. Yeah, that's what I got. Yes, sir.
I honestly, I hope that you're right because I don't like Snoozman as a champ. I just think that he's good. So I hope that you're right, and I hope that this is one of the times that my prediction's wrong and yours is right.
It's gonna be right.
Doesn't happen.
Yours is usually wrong.
But
and mine's
I'd be okay
right.
with this one.
But just like the Bucks Knicks,